there, it's Ashley Harris, and we are going to show you our PlanIt Daily set. Actually, I'm going to show you, and it is our planner set that was designed to go with your planner. There will be more coming out in the future, so stay tuned. This set actually just has your everyday things like dentist, a hair appointment, mani-pedi, grocery shopping, those kinds of things. So here is my May calendar. I already filled up my March and April, so we're going to begin with this one. And something that happens every month on the 11th, and that is pay the cell phone bill. We don't have a home phone, so our cell phone bill is our home phone. So I took the stamps, pay and bill, and we're going to line them up on the grid mat that I have on my desk here. I have this on my desk at all times. It doesn't move. I usually will be, I'll cover it with my craft sheet to do inking or whatever, but this is always beneath it and always on top. So I take my small 1.5 inches, I think, or even an inch acrylic block and pick them up, pick the stamps up with my block. Now you'll see that this planner has a coil in the middle. It's not a binder type. So when you stamp down, if you don't have a small enough block, you can actually get caught up on that coil and mess up your image. So what you're going to want to do is put it on the far left or far right side of your block, depending on where your coil is and where you're stamping. So that way there is no block to interfere with that coil, and you'll have a good, clean image. So I'm just going to realign these on my mat. Excuse my head. They'll be in the shot a few times. It's a good highlighting job. Alright, so here we go. Picking up those stamps with my block. And then grab the Memento Tuxedo Black dye ink that I use for this. And I'll get it stamped down. Now sometimes mostly your projects are going to be one sheet, and with that, to get a better impression, you can put a mouse pad underneath it to get a good impression, but since this has enough thickness to it, you don't need to do that. So we're going to stamp that down. Look at that, I can pay my bill. Now we're going to wipe the ink off, clean off my stamp with a baby wipe. That's what I tend to use primarily to clean my stamps. Every once in a while I'll go and wash my stamps and make them clean, but this is what works for me, and it's quick and easy. And so now we're going to find that little phone icon, and I believe it's hiding underneath my planner. Sure enough, there it is. So we're going to use a skinny block that I grabbed. Now this block is easy to use as well, just a thinner, it's a more lengthwise for lengthy stamps, and it's super cheap. I think I got it at the dollar bin at Michael's. And so right now I'm positioning the phone where it needs to be, so it's it'll look nice when I stamp it. And I'm going to take the Memento Tangelo dye ink, and we're going to ink up the stamp. It's a really bright orange. It stands out. I really like it. I think it's my primary orange ink that I use, actually. So here we go. And there you go. Pay the phone bill. Super easy. The 11th of every month. Okay. And now something we're going to stamp is something that happens every Friday, and that's date night. My husband and I have made date night a priority, and every Friday we go and we usually go to dinner because that's what we enjoy and good conversations to be had. Now date night sometimes will fall on other occasions like a reception, but then we'll just switch to Saturday, but primarily it goes on Friday. So I'm going to get date and night, and we're going to put them on my grid mat. and line them up and get them going. But apparently I wanted to try it on the planner first to see what it would look like. Yeah, not happening. So here we go. Our date night, we're lucky our oldest is old enough to babysit the younger ones, which is why we only tend to go to dinner. It's not that time to be. It's about a perfect amount of time for the oldest to be left alone with the younger kids. So anyway, so I'm going to put them right underneath each other since I'm going to design it differently. And I'm going to take my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and ink up the stamp, and we should be good to go here soon. Alright, on Friday night. And there you go. Super easy. Clean image. I love the fact that these stamps are super small, but they are sturdy. There are no weak spots in them, and so you're always going to get a clean image with every stamp, and I love that about these stamps. They are fantastic. So now we're going to take the little heart icon, and you'll notice that I start to stamp, putting the stamp to the ink pad, and that tends to make your ink pool. So you switch over and tap your ink pad to the stamp from top to the stamp. That will obviously, like I said, help to keep your ink from pooling, and that will end up giving you a splotchy image if it pools. So top stamp to ink pad to stamp, not stamp to ink pad, if that makes sense. So now that was Hero Arts Bubblegum dye ink. That was fantastic. I love that color. Now we're using the Memento Love Letter, which is a great red that I love to use. Another dye ink, and just to give it some fun variation. Alright, date night is done. Well, stamped anyway. So next we're going to do something that also happens every week in my house, and that's payday. Now payday is, I think a lot of us really like payday. I do. I like it so much I forgot to pay myself today, actually. So that's how it works in our house. My husband owns his own business. He's an electrical contractor, and so we pay ourselves every day on Friday. Transferred into the family funds. So for this, I'm just going to use it. I'm just going to eyeball it on my planner rather than use the guide, my grid mat. And then you'll see that if you notice, it actually kind of comes out a little wonky. And that will teach me to use my grid mat every time and not just eyeball it. But using my Memento ink, my black tuxedo black, I'll be stamping that down and getting it. And you'll see, I'm rather a perfectionist. I'm pretty particular on how I stamp. But since I can't really redo it, unless I want to go buy another planner, we'll just keep the wonkiness, the not so straight, crooked payday, excuse me. So now we're using the fun little money icon, and we're using, I believe, Simon Says Stamp Green Apple. Fantastic green color. I absolutely love it. It's probably hands down my favorite green. And perfect with that little money icon. And this dries fantastically even on your project. It's great. Now next we're using the Memento Pear Tart, I believe it's called. And this is just a slightly lighter green that goes to give it another variation color to payday. And I love these stamps because you can customize them to you. You can have the same stamp set as your mom, your friend, but because they have all these little pieces, they are customizable to what your schedule is and to what your life is. Now, in our lives, practice is always happening, whether it's sports or piano or whatever it is, practice is always going on. So we're going to be stamping practice on Saturday for my oldest. His football season is coming up, starting actually this weekend. Practices that ways anyway, and I'm gonna get that going. So practice is a staple in our household. And then I'm just going to put whose practice it is, just write that in and the time, and we are good to go. Obviously there are many more spaces that you can fill up and use for your needs, and that's the stamps. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a lot, and if not, I hope you just liked it anyway. Now we will be coming out with more videos, so please stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube station, and have a great day. Thanks so much.